Welcome to Khe Sanh.
Combat Air Base at Khe Sanh, place I've always wanted to see, the highlight of my trip. So we're gonna pay our toll and go visit, and we're gonna take plenty of pictures. It was a Marine combat air base, lots of planes and helicopters flew in and out of here. There was a 3-month siege here from like January to April of '69, I think, and they fought hard. And another group of Marines paved the road and gave them some support and helped them bail out. So then they plowed it under and left.
Khe Sanh was under siege for months on end. They had long-range artillery fire from the north side of the DMC to the base. Just about anything that landed there in the way of aircraft would be shot at constantly. The Marines did a fantastic job.
All right, this is the combat air base at Khe Sanh. I've done some research, but I do know that this area that we're going to tour is only a small fraction of what used to exist in the 60s. Most of it is now coffee. They grow coffee on this red dirt, and it's a real damp, wet climate up here. It's almost raining, and all the old sandbags and stuff are still there. There was artillery there. Behind me and all that overgrown stuff was an area called the Ponderosa. I think it was basically a rest and relaxation area, a place for the Marines here to just hang out and do what gritty Marines do. I was Army, by the way, so I don't know what gritty Marines do. But now there's a museum and there's a few aircraft, and I understand the old runway is still there. There was an big, huge ammo locker, and from what I understand, during the siege, a missile landed right on it and blew the whole thing up. When the siege was over and the U.S. left, they plowed all this under, so a lot of the original structures are gone, and they've recreated a little bit of it. So we won't know what's recreated or original, but it's going to be fun to see. It's going to be fun to see. Never in my dreams did I think I would be in Vietnam seeing this stuff. The runway was aluminum, just aluminum plates they hooked together.
Metals found here. Gentleman digs up there. NVA, VC, polisher butt. Number or something on here.
On the top of the tail wing boom, there was something way up there.
Yeah, I know, but that wasn't what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like a serial number.
It's beautiful out here. I think that's some recreated stuff.
Oh yeah.
This was the helicopter runway.
I think of where the heck I landed. Just can't get it in my head. Sometimes. I came in here on the deck.
See, this is the edge of the runway right here. I saw a tour on YouTube, and it was actually the Coochie Tunnel tour. And the Vietnamese guy was giving the tour, and he was saying that they grow the rubber trees here to absorb the Agent Orange out of the soil. Rubber trees will do that.
I didn't know that. It's like, this is what I saw. Remember.
Looking down here. Like people lived in these. This is where they lived, this is where they stayed, this is where they fought. Imagine just waking up in the middle of the night, just grabbing a gun and just fighting right out your back door.
Turns like this. Round came in and we were to hit in the trench. They blocked some of the explosion. You have a 90-degree bend. So something hit over here and you were here, the blast would come around you. It's just like World War I here. Trenches. Gotta kind of think about a bunch of Marines in here, lived down here 24/7, had large artillery being fired at them, not just small stuff with small arms, but cannons being fired from the north. Heavy artillery. Place like this, Water dripping in when it rained. One way in and they're out. Got attacked, ground attacked. You'd have to run out through here into the trenches. Short guy like me couldn't even show over the top of it. See what's going on. Sandbags on top of us. Absorb the impacts. I can't even imagine doing this for months on end. Closest thing to World War II our troops faced. They stood the ground. Hell of a thing. And then one day it was relieved. They packed their bags. And they drove out and left it.
Behind me is Tiger Tooth Mountain. You can see that sharp spike in the mountain. They call that Tiger Tooth Mountain. That hilltop that way is Hill 881. Hill 881 south, you can't see it. It's on the other side of those trees. Army and Marines on both of those hills. They were inaccessible, so they'd get dropped off by helicopters. And that plane is sitting on parts of the original runway. Just aluminum planks that clip together. Although I see rust, so I don't know if it's aluminum, but this was the runway. They just pulled up part of the runway to make this patch of the plane. They named the hills by the height of the hill in meters. So Hill 881 is 881 meters high. 881 south is the same elevation. It was just south of 881.
Out there, landed, pulled off someplace here, park, ate my lunch. They said I could head on back. I flew back up here again, up towards Quay, up the valley, picked up the colonel. Probably one of these trenches. They got hit that night, and he got shot at. Kind of messed up his spine. Yeah, he was out of it. I took him back, dropped him off at the hospital, and went back down south. Funny, because I was told later on that if anything landed here, they got shot at. They shelled automatically. Nothing even happened. I guess my little OH-13 wasn't worth the hell. March 71. Yeah, this was something else. We went into camp. Our troops lifted the Vietnamese into Cambodia. And the first day we lost 36 helicopters shot down. Find their captions rather unique. Cave up, and I bounced out about 4 steers on my butt, and all of a sudden I hear this guy yelling, "You're hit, you're hit, you're hit." I looked at him and said, "Shut up, I cut myself shaving." So that was my time. I could have just kept my mouth shut, and they'd give me a nice Purple Heart for a shaving cut. But what can you do? We had to be honest about it, and I wouldn't want to wear something that was not for real. But that was one of the funnier things about tour. And then it was just about 2 days later, I got on a plane to go on R&R. Got out of that place, and the ammo dump was still blowing up. So we were stuck there.
And from Khe Sanh, we got a coffee, and I'm gonna try this out because we bought a bag to bring home. So, coffee from all over the place. They brew it, or they make it up here.
I went in the Army 1965. My last tour of duty, 2008, Iraq. Balad, Iraq.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, got 62. So I flew active, Army, and Reserve. So.
One more spot down on the road trip.